Okay. I am not going to impart some great wisdom on you. I'm not going to tell you things that are going to inspire you. You've heard all that here today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a story. And it's a story about our first semester with the SSA at PCC, Pasadena City College. And I'm hoping that it gives you some chuckles and a few laughs, and and then at the end there'll be a few tips. Okay, so I was a drug addict, and then I found Jesus, and now I can regrow limbs. And they wanted to all put they needed to touch us. They just wanted to hug us and wanted to touch us all the time, because that's how they could, do their healing thing. And it went on for 2.5 hours. This blonde guy, he was a riot. I liked him. I wanted to get to know him. He was just a really cool person, but he was, yes. Anyways, so Emery was wonderful. Now Emery, Matt Dillahunty, a lot of people who are really good speakers are that way because they were evangelical preachers before. Same thing for Emery. Watched him, I learned so much. I mean, he was very calm. He mirrored back what they were saying, and that was amazing. If it wasn't for Heather and Emery, would not have gotten through the 2.5 hours. I just wouldn't. So these are the lessons that I learned, that we learned through this. One of the most important things is to coordinate with other clubs. We did so well that year because we had teamed up with the Queer Alliance. We did so many things together. Ask for help from people with experience. That's why I called Heather and Emery. Was the best decision ever. In the beginning I was like, I'm going to have to apologize to them because nobody's here, and then boom. And I was so glad that they were there. Strength in numbers. You never know what's going to happen. So, try to get a lot of your members working on a special event and showing up. Smile, smile, smile. Don't let them know that they're getting to you. Keep your cool and never let them see you sweat. And that's what we did. We kept calm. When they left, we were like, it felt like we had run a marathon. Reach out to other atheist and skeptic groups. I have been a member of all of these. It has helped so much. We have, you learn a lot of information. You can get a lot of resources from the groups. There are secular charities out there that are wonderful to work for. Ask Connor. If you haven't talked to Connor yet, talk to Connor. There's also big local charities. We have the Big Sunday in LA, which helps everyone, and it's secular, and they do like at least 5 volunteer efforts a week that your club could join, our club could join. Use the Speakers Bureau. It's a wonderful resource. You could have Dan Barker or Mandisa or Connor show up at your group, and you can even get help to pay for it. Great resource. Reach out to local celebrities. This is Devon Green. Does everybody know who Devon Green is? Okay. Devon Green is a local celebrity in LA, but she's nationally known as the person behind Mrs. Betty Bowers, America's Best Christian. Look her up on Google. She's amazing. And I had been friends with her on Facebook for years, just because, I'll sign up. And I contacted her, and she said, I told her we'd like her to come and speak to the Queer Alliance and this SSA. And she responded within 10 minutes. She said, I've never done anything like that, and I'd love to do it. She came, and she was amazing, just totally amazing. Everybody loved her. People were so excited. She also plays ukulele, and that's her miming herself playing the ukulele, but we had people coming in even from off campus. This is like before we get started. It was wonderful. Expect the unexpected. There's not much more I can say about that, because you just expect the unexpected. And the most important thing that I think is keep your sense of humor. And that's, that's it. So how much time do I have left?
7 minutes.
7 minutes, okay. Does anybody have any questions?
What was the name of your local celebrity again?
That was Devon Green, D-E-V-E-N, Green. Or if you look up Mrs. Betty Bowers. She does a lot of tweets and a lot of posts. Most of those are political. She also does like a Dear Abby in the Atlantic magazine for young people. Mm-hmm.
Those of us in groups that may not have the outreach of experienced speakers right away, to kind of help bolster our conversational skills, what would you recommend for a group that wants to have conversation with religious groups but might be intimidated? You could contact a Unitarian Universalist church. I think that would be a good idea, because they are they might be able to help you. They might come and speak themselves, or they might know some resources. That would be a great. Unitarian Universalist churches are great. Sometimes sometimes they're mostly humanists. Sometimes there's a different diversity, but they always will have somebody that you can speak to and get some influence from. And then also you could always ask, like, if you have a philosophy club or a science club, or ask them to be a speaker if you're ever, just come into our group and talk about your group, and that's a good filler if you're stuck for somebody to talk. Any other questions? 5 minutes left. Okay. Thank you all for listening and for attending. I was really, okay.
I'm sorry, I actually have a question. So what happened after this? Did, this experience create any more publicity for your group on campus? Did it help?
Well, we
or anything like that?
We did get a write-up in the school newspaper, which helped. Other than that, they didn't come back, and Tommy's still missing a kidney. It was just a really, really good experience for us to, yeah.
Did Emery and Heather capture footage of that, and did they post about it themselves?
Heather and Emery had Tommy and I on the podcast, and I forgot what podcast number it is. You can look them up. I think it's like 178. If you look up the Skeptically Yours podcast, it was. We didn't get on until I think May or June of 2016. But if you look it up, you can see Terry Smith and Tommy Puckett if you ever want to find it. And it was funny. That was it. So, and if anybody wants to see the video of me taming a squirrel to ring a bell, let me know, because I have that on my phone. So, okay. Oh, yes.
I guess, what do you do when do you ever have people when you're tabling or anything who come up and want you to have an argument for everything?
All the time. All the time.
Some things you can have it, you
yes.
know, and you can, but other things I'm like, I have no, I don't.
The first law of thermodynamics, everybody comes up and, And I say, I had this one guy that came up, every time we had a tabling event came up, and I think he thought I forgot it was him. He would come up every single time and ask that. And I said, you know what, there's a physics club right down there, and they can probably answer this question. I'm not a scientist. Are you a scientist? He's like, no. So, that's how after a while, that's how I got it. Just diverted that, yeah. So, thank you.